It's your boy Conserviz34, and today we're going to talk about Blink-182 and why they can't seem to sell tickets on their upcoming summer tour with Wheezy F Baby, aka Lil Wayne. Let's get started. So Blink-182, they come up in the 90s. They talk about inappropriate jokes, they curse, they swear, they run naked in music videos. They turn the century and then they literally take off their pants and jacket. And then they have a little bit of a hiatus in '04. They just say, all right, that's it. '05, there's a couple stuff, but they really are done. Side projects with side chicks. Come back together in '09. Tom DeLonge leaves the band again, but the band keeps going with Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio. And here we are in 2019. Tickets go on sale. Lil Wayne and Blink-182, and they're merging in the promo Wayne songs with Blink songs and Blink songs with Wayne songs. And Travis Barker always wishes he was a hip-hop head, even though he's a punk rock drummer. And a couple weeks pass, and here we are, a month or two past the on sale, and there's still a lot of tickets left. So we're going to go into why these tickets aren't selling. So one of the main reasons that these tickets aren't selling for Blink-182 is because the touring is going overboard and the demand is dropping. You see, back in the 90s, they were on their come up. They were growing, peak. They get to the 2000s and they still have their show is one of those shows that a lot of teenagers and rebellious kids are going to go to. It's still a must-see show. Then they go on hiatus. And while the sales for the self-titled album weren't like the previous stuff, like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket and Enema of the State, the hiatus starts to bring that demand up again. People follow the side chick projects of the various band members, and then they come back in '09. That '09 show, that '09 tour, it was popping, okay? They were selling out all sorts of shows. I went to the Hartford show in 2009. And it came back with nostalgia, with demand, because people wanted to feel like they felt back in the 90s, and now it's 2009. It's almost the 2010s. So there was tons of people there. I was on the Hartford lawn. It was sold out. 22,000 fans or so on the lawn alone. 7,000 or so fans in the amphitheater. It was a great show. Great openers, which is a key thing to point out. Taking Back Sunday, they come on. Then Weezer comes on. Weezer could have been the headliner, but they're the second act. Then Blink comes on. Just crazy energy with those great acts to come before them. Then after '09, that's really the peak. They get 25 mil in tour sales as far as money, revenue coming in. They're one of the top 50 tours on Polestar's top 50 list for 2009, 32nd on that list. They do Europe the next year, and now Europe gets to eat and gets to enjoy that music and fill up the venues there. And then I go to the 2011 Honda Civic Tour, where demand was slightly down, but it still was a pretty cool show. Manchester Orchestra was at my select date, and you had with them as kind of a co-headliner, but Blink was the headliner, but the Honda Civic Tour was touting around My Chemical Romance. So My Chemical Romance sets it up for Blink every night. And then they rotate, Manchester Orchestra, Matt and Kim, Alkaline Trio, Rancid, Neon Trees, Jimmy Eat World, H2O for select shows. So this is okay. It's still doing okay. And then they continue to promote Neighborhoods for a couple of years, and Tom DeLonge leaves. And then they add on Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio. But the demand started to fall off. Once Tom leaves the band here, you get Matt Skiba, and then they make another album, California. The demand to see this band just isn't there, okay? The comeback was over after Neighborhoods came out, okay? They had that first Honda Civic Tour, but then after that, people were able to catch them a couple of times. They did a lot of shows in the States. They did overseas shows, and that's the first step of this decline. Is they had too many shows. They were touring too much. Maybe if they would have stopped touring or took a couple years off or really took 5 or 6 more years off, they would have created that demand again. But people were just like, we can see them anytime, anywhere. They'll be here every other year, every couple years to my city. The other thing here is the fans grew up, okay? The nostalgia show to me was 2009. That's when the fans who were teenagers back in the late 90s, or like me, I was a middle schooler in the, at the turn of the century, that loved Blink. Us, we were in college and out of college and almost 30. Many of those fans that were first with Blink 182, we got that nostalgia fix. And then we grew up. We're like, do we really want to see him again? Do we really want to hear this new music? Like, there's a couple good stuff here and there, but we don't want to hear this band. And then the other thing, here's the next thing that happens that really starts to hurt the idea of going to see Blink 182. Tom DeLonge leaves the band, disagreement, whatever. He leaves the band. It's a whole scandal. And now you have the founding guitarist of Blink 182. He's not there, and he's a personality. These are personalities. Everyone in the band, that from the heydays, there as far as Mark, Tom, and Travis, they run the show. And with one of them not being there, people are going, is it really Blink 182? I don't know. So that brings on less and less and less demand. And here's my personal opinion. I'm someone, again, who grew up with Blink 182. But to me, once you see one or two Blink 182 shows, you've seen them all. That's why I've only seen them twice. I've had some close decisions. Do I really want to see them again? Do I really want to see them again? And every time I'm like, the set's the same. They're only adding newer music, taking away from the classic stuff, and their prime years are gone. So once you see Blink, you've seen them. That's it. Where there's other artists, now I'm talking some old heads here, but like I've seen Billy Joel twice. I still want to see him again. I've seen a couple other artists twice, but some artists that are just legendary, you can see the same set, but it just every time is, I want to see it again. Blink to me doesn't do that to me. That's just how I feel. So they don't have any sort of staying power of like, we really got to see the next show, even if they have a similar set. Okay? Once you see a couple of times, the jokes get all the same, and it's just like, okay, cool. I'm almost 30, and I'm not trying to go to a show like this unless I get a really good ticket price. Which is the next thing that I'll talk about is what will make me want to go to this show. I'm on the fence, okay? I'm a kid who grew up listening to hip-hop and grew up listening to punk rock, like many people in my generation did, crossed over platforms. And as much as I really don't like Lil Wayne's new stuff, I was a fan of Lil Wayne from the Block is Hot era, Carter 1, Carter 2, 400 Degrees was in between there, and you had a couple other albums there, mixtapes, etc. I will go to this if the ticket prices keep dropping. If I can find a secondary deal last minute, if Ticketmaster, who fluctuates his tickets now, lowers the price and I can get a nice seat behind the soundboard, your boy may go to this show when it comes to Hartford, Connecticut. So if I will go to this show if they decide to really, if I see the secondary really dipping, and it's going to dip because these tickets are not selling. You look at these venues and there's tons of seats everywhere still. VIP seats, regular seats, pit tickets. Usually the pit is harder to find. No, the pit is still here for Blink 182. So if they lower their ticket prices, then I will think about going to this show because I love live music. As much as I say, once you see one Blink show, you've seen them all. I would like to see Lil Wayne here just to say I saw Lil Wayne because, I grew up with him even though he's not the same Lil Wayne I grew up with. And speaking of Lil Wayne, there's been some controversy with Lil Wayne being the kind of semi-headliner, co-headliner-ish, or the setup person for Blink 182. And here's my thing. I think that he definitely did turn off some Blink 182 fans, but at the same time, that's not the full reason why tickets aren't selling, okay? Blink 182 has a little bit of crossover. Travis Barker is heavy into hip-hop, and fans have followed him over. I know kids who grew up skaters, love punk music, and they listen to hip-hop too. And they listen to Lil Wayne here in suburban Connecticut. So there is a crossover with fans. I just think the hardcore fans left, and the fans who are yelling and screaming on social media, a lot of them just don't like Lil Wayne. Like, why would you have a rapper? But this is what I'll defend Lil Wayne on. People are saying, Lil Wayne has no talent, he's trash, who likes rap? To be fair, if you're a Blink fan, you should not be criticizing the talents of Lil Wayne, okay? As much as I grew up listening to Blink 182, All of their songs are 3-chord, palm mute on, palm mute off, a little bit of improvisation, a little bit of difficult material, but it's pretty easy to play. Matter of fact, in 2008, when I was learning to play guitar, a lot of the songs I learned were Blink-182 songs because they're easy to play. So I think some of the Blink fans who are criticizing, not all, but some of them are, oh, rap sucks, this, that. Look, Lil Wayne is a talented rapper, whether you like rap or not. He's talented. And the lyrics he's had to write, the mixtapes that he put out, he's grinded. So if you're listening to 3-chord Blink-182, I wouldn't be the first person to criticize. Now, if you're listening to some crazy prog rock band or something that just puts out tons of technical music, difficult music, extended jams, improvisation left and right, you can criticize Lil Wayne. But if you listen to Blink-182, they're talking about, sodomy and talking about, taking your mom out and I mean, like, it's immature stuff that was cool when I was a kid, but look, they ain't like the best gift of God ever. But I don't think Lil Wayne is why this thing is fully where it is right now. I think a lot of it has to do with the things I've mentioned before, and they really have overstayed their welcome since they came back. The demand that is down. But we'll see what happens. I hope ticket prices drop, because if they drop low to the flow, if I can get a $50 ticket mid-pavilion on secondary a couple days before, I will buy it and I'll go. Let me know what you guys think. Do you plan to go to this tour? Do you not plan to go to this tour? Did you used to listen to Blink and you don't listen to them anymore? Let me know what you think. Agree, disagree, like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Conserviz34. I'm out. Peace.